Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks main channel wrote a great article about the sex offender list and some gigantic problems with it. So she highlights a specific case that I hadn't heard of until today. She says the following, quote, Zach Anderson from Indiana is the latest example of how sex offender registries have been diluted with people who aren't sexual predators and don't actually pose a threat to society. Last December, 19-year-old Anderson went on an adult dating app called Hot or Not and met a girl who told him she was 17 years old. Anderson crossed state lines to Michigan, and the two met up at a playground shortly after their online exchange and had sex. Everything seemed fine until he was greeted by police soon after. Anderson learned that the girl had lied to him about her age, and she was really 14 years old. Anderson was prosecuted for statutory rape and pleaded guilty with the hope that his clean record would result in leniency by Judge Dennis Wiley. And I'm sure that you guys can see where this is going. The judge threw the book at him. Quote, even after the girl and her mother both testified that she had lied about her age and they didn't consider Anderson a sexual predator, Judge Wiley still sentenced him to 3 months in Berrien County Jail, 25 years on Michigan Sex Offender Registry, and 5 years of probation. Since Anderson's brother is a 15-year-old, he can no longer live with his parents. He is also forbidden from using computers or smartphones for the rest of his life. I didn't even know they could fucking do that. So when you're out of prison, they say, well, they have somebody knocking on the door, hey, do you have an iPhone, asshole? How does that work? I don't know how that works. That's insane. So when you dig a little deeper and go into court records, you find out that the judge is just a curmudgeonly old man that has a problem with hookups. In fact, I want to give you one of his quotes here. He said, you went online, to use a fisherman's expression, trolling for women to have sex with. That seems to be part of our culture now. Meet, hook up, have sex, sayonara. Totally inappropriate behavior. Whoa. I don't give a fuck about what you think is appropriate or inappropriate or not. I give a fuck about what the law is, and I give a fuck about what reason says you should do and how the system in general should use prosecutorial discretion. So since he's a curmudgeonly old asshole, he's like, I'll throw the book at you. Even though she said she was 17, she looks older, and even the parents say, come on, he's just a kid. It's a 19-year-old and what he thought was a 17-year-old. This isn't a criminal. What, are you crazy? Nope, threw the book at him anyway. We've gone way too far here. I think Anna's totally right when she says, if you're going to have a sex offender list at all, which really is a debatable topic, I mean, I don't think it's clear we should have that in the first place, but if you're going to have it at all, you got to just limit it to what? Rapists and pedophiles and people like that. You can't have somebody, she goes on to explain, now in many states they have, for public urination, you get on the sex offender registry. Public urination? I've certainly pissed outside. I'm sure a lot of you guys have pissed outside. That makes me a fucking predator? No, it's insane. We've gone too far. We're disconnected from reason now. So I would revisit the sex offender registries and try to make them make more sense. And when it comes to the issue of the crazy judges here, I don't even know what to do, because when you draw hard lines and that judges have to abide by, and it's like zero tolerance, well, then you take away the ability of the more sane judges to use discretion and actually, be flexible with their sentences. And that hurts in some respects. But then when you don't have the hard lines, every once in a while you get dumbass judges like this guy who uses his discretion wrongly and is unreasonable, not reasonable. So I don't even know what to do about that, other than, in all seriousness, I don't even know how this is possible, but somehow they should fire this judge, because this judge clearly is not fit to do this job.